how's it going? Today I'm going to be installing a set of Bilstein 5100 rear shocks in my 2019 GMC Canyon. You may have seen my previous videos about assembling the front Bilstein 5100s and then also a video on installing the Bilstein 5100s. Well, this video is just going to be the rear shocks. There's two shocks in the rear. They are horizontally opposed on the axle. One faces forward, one faces back, and they're pretty easy to install. You don't need a lift or anything like that to do this. You can do this with the vehicle sitting on the ground like normal, and you can just slide underneath. Now I've gone ahead and removed my spare tire just to give myself a little more access to underneath the vehicle in the back here, but they're easy to find. You can just come up underneath the truck, and there is the driver's side shock. And the passenger side shock, which is on the other side of the axle, is right there. And they're relatively easy, like I said. You're going to need a couple of hand tools, and either a 13/16 socket or a 21mm socket will do it. The top of the shocks have a welded nut on one side, or on the frame rather, and then just a single bolt. So it's pretty straightforward. We're going to dig into it here. So these are the Bilsteins. And the way these get installed is with the logo being able to be read. So this is going to sit in the truck underneath there like this with the dust boot on top. The Bilstein logo is able to be read normally, not upside down. I'm going to leave these straps on them until I get it in place, and then I'll cut them loose and line up the bottom hole for when I install the bottom bolt. I'm going to be using a power ratchet here, probably a breaker bar to break the nuts loose, and then, like I said, a normal ratchet. So let's climb underneath and dig in. Alright, so here we are on the driver's side, and I'm going to do the bottom bolt first. Like I said, these are 13/16 on both sides, or 21mm. You're going to need a deep well probably for the left side here because the bolt sticks out quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start loosening this one. And I'm already spinning, so I'll need to get my air ratchet out. That makes quick work. And then we can pull that bolt out, piece of cake. And then we can look at the top. And on the top, there is a welded nut against the frame. And all we got to do is remove the bolt up there. And for that, I'm just going to use the air ratchet. So this was pretty easy for me. I have a gas truck, but if you have a diesel truck, I think the def tank sits in this area, and it will be a little more difficult to get to that bolt. I'm not exactly sure. So now I've got my Bilstein that I'm going to put up in place and line up the bolt and start threading in it. I'm going to tighten it up with my air ratchet just to get it tightened up. But I'm going to use a torque wrench to torque it down correctly later. Now for the bottom, I need to line up the hole and install my bolt. There we are. And now I can snip this off and install my nut. I've gotten those tightened up, and I'm going to get my torque wrench and tighten them to spec. So the top bolt is 85 foot-pounds. I've got my torque wrench here set to 85. There's 85, and I'm just going to give another oomph. That's good. So the bottom bolt is 118 foot-pounds. So I've got my torque wrench set to 118, and got my pair of wrenches. There's 118. And another little extra, and we're in. So that's the driver's side. Now let's do the passenger side. So that's all there is to installing rear shocks in your GMC Canyon or Chevy Colorado. It's really a short job, guys. Even with filming here, it took me about half an hour. They look pretty good underneath the truck, all shiny and new. I still have to get this truck aligned because I did the front struts, and every time you mess with suspension, you should get it aligned. So anyways, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Love it if you subscribe. Stay tuned for new videos. We'll see you next time. Later.